Well, the next segment, of course, has seen us learn some difficult pronunciations. So it's time to sit back, relax, and get educated by none other than Willis, the word master, also known as Willis Ochieng, coming to us from Kisumu County. Willis, it's great to see you this Friday. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Betty. How are you doing?
I'm great, Willis. Well, let's get straight to our word on the street. Let's take a listen.
Xenophobia. Xenophobia.
Xenophobia. Xenophobia.
Nephobia. Ephobia.
Xenophobia. Xenophobia.
Xenophobia. Xenophobia.
Xenophobia.
Xenophobia.
Xenophobia.
Right, Willis, you've heard our word on the street. It's a word that we've been talking about lately in the news, some tragic and unfortunate incidences taking place in South Africa. How do we pronounce that word, Willis?
In the first place, Betty, that's a very terrible incident, and my prayers to those who are victims of the same. Anyhow, the word is pronounced as xenophobia. Xenophobia. That letter X takes the voiced sound Z, like a Z. Xenophobia, just like xylem or xylophone. So, xenophobia.
Okay, got it. Xenophobia and xylophone. I was actually getting to that because it's like the same kind of word structure. Thank you for that, Willis. All right, let's get straight to our second word. It's an act of, talking about one's thoughts aloud, like a monologue. Is it soliloquy? How do we pronounce that word?
Oh, you're talking of the literary term?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we say soliloquy. Soliloquy.
Oh,
It's in grammar, it's in literature. Soliloquy. Not soliloquy, not soliloquy, soliloquy.
Wow, soliloquy. Got it, Willis. Moving on to our third word. Do we say crescent or crescent? You know, when we're talking about the moon, is it crescent or crescent?
We say cre. Crescent, crescent. Zn or sunt, both are allowed.
Okay.
Crescent, crescent, but not cree.
So, Willis, you're saying we do not say, even at the far end, it's not sent, it's sunt.
There is no problem. We have what we call elision, Betty, when we're talking about matters of phonology or phonetics.
Yes.
There is no problem when you say crescent, but we say crescent. Crescent. We are talking about RP and its approximations in this case.
Okay, Willis, got it. All right, moving on to a medical condition. Now, this word, I heard it in the newsroom just the other day. Is it mastitis or mastitis?
Oh, we say mastitis, titis, not titis, mastitis. Just like hepatitis, not hepatitis. Hepatitis, mastitis.
All right. Got it, Willis. Moving on to another word here. Do we say retrogressive or retrogressive? We always have this many words that have the RE at the onset. Re or re?
I know. They're very confusing.
Yes.
Anyway, you say re, not re. Retrogressive. Retrogressive. Just like retroactive, not retro. Active, retrogressive, no.
Okay.
Retrogressive, retroactive.
All right, got it, Willis. Now, this word, I got a few primary school children who are asking about this particular animal, tortoise, as they know it. And when I told them that it's not tortoise, they were quite shocked. Willis, please, educate them. I'm sure they're watching.
Well, it's not their mistake.
Yes.
And this one, I'm sure even certain professors or scholars, for that matter, would also say tortoise, because that is what they acquired innocently from school or from their environment and all that. So many people locally tend to say tortoise, but the correct or acceptable pronunciation of that word, Betty, is tortoise. Tortoise.
I'm sure they're so shocked because, you know, finally they thought, because they were not thinking I'm right. So it's tortoise. Got it, Willis?
I know.
What about this other one? Zebra or zebra?
That animal has two acceptable pronunciations,
Okay.
Betty. I remember Davis and Lewis, what I know many people say Lewis, it's Lewis. So Davis, Lewis also asked me about that very animal, and the point is we have two acceptable pronunciations.
Okay.
You can say zebra as per the spelling, you can also say zebra.
All right.
Zebra and zebra both are acceptable.
All right, but it's not tortoise, but tortoise. All right,
Tortoise, not tortoise.
All right, tortoise, like Willis, the
Yes.
word master
Yes.
says. All right, let's quickly move on to another word. When you want to mean until now, is it hitherto? Is that how we pronounce that word, Willis?
Well, we have a primary stress. A primary stress at the end or at the terminal part. That is the final syllable. To. So you say hitherto, hitherto.
Oh, okay.
Just like jamboree, not jamboree. Jamboree. Hitherto, not hitherto.
All right, got it. Moving on to this word, do we say righteous or righteous?
Righteous, righteous,
okay.
not righteous. And some people also mistake the word to be righteous. You say righteous, that is it.
All right, just like Christian, right? A few weeks we talked about Christian and not Christian.
Yes.
Right?
But we say Christianity.
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 All right, got it. I'm a good student, Willis. I hope you can see that. All right, moving
I
on
know. But you're wonderful.
Yes. Well, thank you. Okay, Willis, so let's move on to the next word. It's our feedback question from Amina in Mombasa. Do we say reservation or reservation? There we go. The R-E pops up again. Which is which?
I know. Anyway, you can tell Amina Swale and the other lovers of good or acceptable pronunciations that we say reservation, reservation.
All
the
right.
verb is reserve, but the noun is reservation.
Okay.
Just like we talk of preserve and preservation.
All right, Willis, got it. So it's
Yes.
reservation, but reserve. All right.
Yes.
All right, let's now move on to our final word, which of course is your surprise word.
I know. Well, Betty, many people pronounce the past tense of say as said.
Yes.
Said. You must be hearing a lot
lot,
of that.
yes.
Said. He said.
Yes.
But we have the pronunciation as said. Said. He said, not said. Just like we always talk of says, but not says. So the verb is say, then saying, says, and said. I know, it's a surprise.
That's a surprise, Willis. I mean, said sounds like, you know, the correct one because we're used to it, but said is the correct one.
Said, says.
All right. Willis, thank you very much for tonight's Mind Your Language lesson. Always a pleasure having you on the show.
You're welcome, and it's my pleasure. So next week, same place,